Hi, it's Marieta. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I am going to talk about frequently asked questions when it comes to submitting your entry for DV Visa Lottery 2022 coming up. Alright, so before I dive deeper, I do want to say I already made recently a bunch of videos on this topic, DV Visa Lottery, avoid the fraud, how to apply, what are the requirements. I'm linking these videos for you. Check them out. So let's dive deeper. Frequently asked question number one. It's clear now. So basically the only way to apply, you have to be either from the country that is eligible, and if you're not from the country that is eligible, in that case you have to claim the eligibility based on your parents' eligibility or your spouse eligibility. Okay, so next question. Why do natives of certain countries not qualify for DV program? Which is a good question. It's a valid question. Now, DVs are intended to provide an immigration opportunity for persons who are not from high admission countries. US law defines high admission countries as those from which a total of 50,000 persons in the family-sponsored and employment-based visa categories immigrated to the United States during the previous 5 years. Each year, U.S. citizenship, USCIS, in other words, counts the family and employment, immigrant admissions, and adjustment of status numbers for the previous 5 years to identify the countries that are considered high admission and whose natives will therefore be ineligible. Okay, guys, so they want to keep the diversity. It's not about discrimination here, it's about keeping diversity. Okay, so if some of you might feel like this is discriminatory towards your country, it's not. There is your answer. How many DV visas will go to natives of each region and eligible country? So USCIS determines the regional DV limits to each year according to a formula specified in section 203. If you want to go and dig deeper, you can research this yourself. So it's section 203C of the Immigration and Nationality Act. The number of the visas the Department of State eventually will issue to natives of each country will depend on the regional limits established. Okay. Number 5. What are the requirements for education and work experience? So, like I said, I already discussed this in my previous video, but just to give you the overview. So you have to show that you either have the high school diploma or you have high school educational equivalent. Okay, so how is this defined? It's following. It's defined as a successful completion of 12 years course of elementary and secondary education in US, or the successful completion in another country of a formal course of elementary and secondary education comparable to a high school education in US. So you basically gotta show the requirements, meaning you gotta show that you are meeting the requirements. You have to show, once you're selected, that at the time of your entry, you were meeting these requirements. Okay? All right, guys, moving on. Is there a minimum age to apply? There is no minimum age to apply, but the requirement of a high school education or work experience for each principal applicant at the time of application will effectively disqualify most persons who are under age of 18. Okay? So technically, we cannot say that you have to be 18 in order to apply. You can be 17 if you're meeting the requirements when it comes to either high school diploma or the equivalent. But if you are 17 and you haven't graduated yet, you don't meet the requirements, then the only way for you to apply is to ask your parent to apply, and your parent will actually include you in the petition, in the application. Okay? So, moving on. The only way to apply is electronically, you already know that, is using the official website, you already know that. What if you are in the United States? Can I still enter DV program? Yes, you can. The entrant might apply while in the United States or in another country as long as you're meeting the requirements. So for example, if you're traveling to US right now, for some reason you're in the US, maybe you're a student in the United States, you can apply. Moving on. Can I only enter once during the registration period? Yes, because if you enter multiple times, you will be disqualified. Why do I need a passport to enter the DV program? Are there any exceptions? So yes, there are some exceptions, but you do need a passport. Eventually you will need a passport to travel to US if you are selected. There are exceptions such as if you are stateless, if you are a national of a communist controlled country and unable to obtain a passport from the government of the communist controlled country, or the beneficiary of an individual waiver approved by the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Secretary of State consistent with the passport waivers. So that's the only exception. Otherwise, you have to submit with a passport. Now, this is a good question. What if my passport expires or I lose it before I apply for a visa? If your passport number changes for any reason, you will have to provide evidence of why it has changed to before you will schedule the DV interview, okay? All right, next question. May my spouse and I submit separate entries? Yes, you can. That's how you're going to increase the eligibility chances to win. Moving on. Let's see. Must I submit my own entry or someone else can do it for me? First of all, I already made this video where I explain why you should submit your own entry. It's the best way, the safest and the most secure way, because you know that you submitted your entry. You don't have to hire an attorney to increase your chances to win, even though if you feel comfortable and if you feel like it's gonna give you peace of mind, yes, you can hire somebody. But honestly, guys, this is super easy. I don't actually do this myself anymore. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. I'm busy with my business, and honestly, this is so easy that you can totally do it on your own. If you need a consultation because you need clarification or you are not sure if you qualify, then you're welcome to book the consultation, but you can totally do this on your own. Just do it on your own. You don't need to pay anybody, okay? Just super easy. And also I want to say, because let's see what happens if you, for example, hire somebody and you realize that the person submit the entry for you, but what if they make a mistake? You will be disqualified. See what I mean? But if you do it yourself, you know exactly what you're doing. Okay? Alright guys, so these are the most frequently asked questions, right? If you have additional comments, you can leave them below my video. Also, if you like this video, share it with people who might need this information, hit that like button, and if you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. Once the lottery registration period will open up, which is going to be next week, I will be obviously sharing more information. For now, it's scheduled October 1st, so stay tuned, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Bye.